Phex never wanted to be a god. But not everyone chooses divinity. Some have divinity foisted upon them by aliens and cafes. It was a very ordinary evening in every way. There was a revival scheduled for the next night, but that was the next night, so the cafe was calm. It was half full, with the usual teenage malcontents, pacified by caffeine or sugar or song. They were talking and flirting, and Phex had little to do but see to their whims and keep the place clean. The dome overhead showed its customary display of gods performing reruns in an endless loop of colorful charm. It was a pattern so ingrained into Phex's daily life that he knew where he was in his shift just from which god song was playing. Tillum was singing Day Gone, with Missid belting out the chorus in his smooth, syrupy voice, which meant Phex had forgotten to take his break, when the alien came into his cafe. Not that it was really his cafe, more just his domain. At school, Phex was the tall, glum refugee that no one liked. At the cafe, he was still all those things, except that he perked a mean coffee and bubbled the perfect tea. And no teen would ever risk offending a barista in any corner of the galaxy, especially not under a dome. So, it was Phex's cafe, and he ruled over it with silent glares. In school, he was a lump in the corner, not trying to fit in, just trying to get through. After school, he had something they wanted, even if it was only a cup of some overpriced, overhyped slurp. He had his regulars, the lingering elderly crowd who were still there when he first came on shift, and then, as it got later, the teens stopped doing whatever it was that normal teenagers did after school, who weren't mandated workers like him, and started to arrive. The adults ceded the territory, with tolerant smiles and careful movements, and the young people took over, louder, sprawling, and high-strung. It was like when one of the slower god songs on the dome gave way to a faster, more lively performance. Phex knew all their drinks, just like he knew all their names. But he asked for both every single time, because they never asked for his. Tillum was sifting the dome, Missid belting out high canter, and that insanely beautiful voice. A regular refrain that marked the start of Phex's last hour on shift. Phex was singing along, not high canter, but low, inventing a harmony none of the real gods bothered with. He did that sometimes with the older songs, because he heard them so often. He wanted something different, even if he had to come up with it himself. The dicey that entered Phex's cafe was not a regular, and did not immediately approach the counter. Phex only saw it when it made itself known, moving forward, as if birthed by the dome. Phex was usually more observant than that, but this was a dicey. The creature shimmered into existence, iridescent and shining, as if stepping out of Tillum's performance and into reality. The dome was dicey tech. Phex supposed the dicey might be afforded some natural camouflage as a result. The cafe hushed in the presence of greatness. Even adolescents knew to be cowed when a dicey walked among them, especially adolescents. This one was average-sized, bigger than every human there, but narrow about it. Not thin, just lean and bendy. Like all its kind, it had smooth, hairless skin on the blue end of the spectrum. All the colors of the cafe and the cupola, reflecting and shimmering over it, like the surface of highly polished metal.